look on the standings, it's basically pretty close between 4, 5, and 6. It's 3 points between Chelsea and Man U, and 2 points between Man U and Wolves and Sheffield. And then Tottenham and Arsenal are basically the ugly stepsisters at 8 and 9, just being like, they're in the back, and they were like, we were once really good. And now they're just chilling in the back. But if you had to be clairvoyant or Rom for a minute and really think either biasly or unbiasedly, who do you think is going to be your 4, 5, and 6 when the season's over?
I think it might just stay how it is. Unfortunately, as a Manchester United fan. Because their energy. So looking from Manchester United's perspective, they had a lot of energy before the quarantine happened. A lot of like fire, and they're at the peak of their form. But that with the quarantine, that might have kind of slowed their momentum down a little bit. So I feel like they might stay there. I don't think Wolves will overtake them. And I don't think Man U will overtake Chelsea, because Chelsea they don't have that bad of a roster, and they do work well as a team together. So I think it might just stay how it is.
I think,
but I'm obviously rooting for Manchester United to take over Chelsea.
I think as a Chelsea fan myself, I am kind of concerned. I feel like the team is basically a 3-point higher, same story Man U team, where we're just all over the place, except I would say more into Chelsea's part is that it's all young kids trying to figure it out. I mean, like 5 of our players basically have played in the Prem for less than 2 years.
Right.
So, and it's like our stalwarts are Azpilicueta and Conte currently doesn't want to get out of his car because of the coronavirus. So that's pretty sweet. But I understand it at the same time, obviously, and Conte is like arguably one of the best Chelsea players of the past 20 years. So not hating on a guy for being like, you know what, I like living, because you know what, this might come as a shock. I do too. And I wouldn't want to do it when your team, I think honestly, if Chelsea didn't have Conte, obviously huge game changer, it would probably not drop us out of the top 6 though.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It would probably drop us out of, even at the way Kovacic is playing this season, which is literally better than I think anyone ever anticipated Mateo Kovacic ever being.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do like Kovacic though, so I'm happy with the way he's playing.
Yeah, I feel like the only issue with Chelsea ever is goalkeeping, and there's a lot of hate out there for manager of the year, Kepa. But you know, at the same time, like the kid's young too, and it's like everyone can basically, you can argue both ways for Chelsea. You can be like they're inconsistent, or you can say they're young, and either way, even though they're supposed to be opposite ends of the argument, they're basically the same argument. That's why they're up and down.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, young players are going to be inconsistent. So, I mean, I feel like it's the same discussion. And Kepa does get a lot of hate. Kepa is a good goalkeeper. And he is also, I mean, he is inconsistent. He makes some errors. But, I mean, so does De Gea. So, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people compare him to Kepa to Oblak because they're the same age. But like, I feel like that's such an unfair comparison for both
they're
players.
The same age?
Yeah, they're the same age.
God, Kepa looks like he's like
that's
a
one of the
preteen.
reasons. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I feel like Kepa does get a lot of hate, because when you put them next to each other, Oblak is what are they, 24, 25? I know they're the same age, so
that's my point is the same.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, they're the same age, and Oblak is an all-star goalkeeper. He's in the discussion for top 3 or top 5 goalkeepers in the world, and Kepa is obviously nowhere near there. But he has potential. He has the potential to become a really good goalkeeper. So I feel like he does definitely get unfair treatment. And in that sense, I feel like Chelsea and Man U are kind of similar. I remember the start of the season. Their rosters were, I mean, pretty similar in terms of age. Like they had the two of the youngest rosters in the league. So that's part of the reason why they're both inconsistent, and they have to find their form and their players, you know. So
yeah, the major difference is that Man U used their transfer window effectively, and Chelsea decided to appeal their transfer ban to do nothing with it. So I'm really glad we threw a temper tantrum and begged to do something when we're just like, you know what? Thanks for giving it to us, but we're better than that. So we don't need some scummy transfer window. It's not like our entire team just went through, like their entire team just basically got done with their freshman year of college.
Right, yeah. It's definitely impressive how Chelsea is managing to be fourth with not really, doing nothing in the transfer window and having such a young roster compared to Man U, who obviously have spent so much money in the recent years and still have a young roster and consistency. So definitely impressive that Chelsea is where they are. But they're also compared to, like, they're going up against Man U and Wolves and Sheffield. So on the other end, it's not really that cool.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's at the same time, it's kind of weak because we suck and everyone else below us sucks.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. It is impressive.